what you want to do is you want to load up your expert advisor. If you don't know how to do that, then you just go to File, Open Data Folder, MQL5, Experts, Advisors, and then you simply just copy and paste your expert advisor file right here into this folder right here. Okay, so after you've done that, you can just come in here to your expert advisor in your navigator window. If you can't find your navigator window, just come up here to view. Then you could open up the navigator. If you want to open up this market watch here, you could go view market watch and that'll pop open that screen. And then all you're going to do is right click on the expert advisor and you're just going to click test. And here you see the strategy testers actually been pulled up here. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do this. Now, with that being said, it is important to understand that back testing is testing a strategy over historical data, over stuff that's happened in the past. And while this is a good proxy of how a strategy could perform in the future, it doesn't necessarily mean that's exactly how the strategy is going to perform in the future, simply because this is past historical data and the market may change in the future. However, backtesting is extremely important to get an idea of the robustness of your strategy. Likely, if it's performed well over historical recent data, then if the market is anything close to what the market has been like recently, then the strategy should perform similarly. And also, that's another reason why you should use really good quality data like they offer on Alpari, because we want to try to make this strategy as robust as possible. So now that you've got the strategy tester pulled up, let's take a look here. If you don't see your symbol here that you'd like to test with, then just right click in the market watch over here, and then you can just go to show all and it'll show all available symbols here. I'm just going to go ahead and click XAUUSD or gold. I'm going to select my time frame. And then I'm going to select a custom period that I'd like to test for. So you're welcome to do it over whatever testing period you'd like. However, I'm just going to do for this first month. Okay. Then as far as delays, you can do your last ping to your server, which is probably going to be most accurate. And then as far as the modeling or the data type, let me spend a second to explain what this means. So there's different types of testing modeling that you can do. One is every tick. And this basically means that it's every tick in price that happens. So every time price actually moves, it's going to calculate that into the back test. So this is going to be more accurate than doing just like open prices, for example. However, it's going to take quite a bit longer. But if you really want to get the most accurate data, then this is a good route to go. I would say, in my experience, every tick based on real ticks is actually even more accurate to what's actually happened in the real market. This is the difference is every tick is basically taking a candle, the high, the low, the open, and the close, and it's basically creating a simulated algorithm of how that candle could have formed throughout the period in that candle's time frame. Now, the difference with real ticks is that this is actually the candle moved and how the ticks actually form the candle during that sessions period. So this is, in my experience, the most accurate data out of all of these that you can choose. Then you have the 1 minute open, high, low, close. So this is, again, just going to take the 1 minute and it's going to give you only the open, high, low, and close. And then you have open prices only. So this is going to be the fastest for sure, but it's also going to be the least accurate because it's only taking the open price of the candle, which, as you can imagine, sometimes these candles are really, really, big. And throughout the session, you may have a huge wick down or something like that. So this is the fastest way, second fastest, but these two every tick models are going to be the most accurate, and every ticks on real ticks is going to be the most accurate in my experience. So just for speed preferences, I'm going to go ahead and click open prices. I wouldn't do this normally, but just for the speed of this. Deposit, I'm going to do $100,000. Leverage, I'm going to do 1 to 100. And for optimization, I'm going to disable for now. So I'm going to disable it for now in allow visual mode. Then all I'm going to do is come in here to my inputs. So these are the inputs in my expert advisor, which I could change here. So say I want to change the pip step, or I want to change use bidirectional mode, or all these different settings that are inside of your expert advisor. You can go ahead and change these to whatever you'd like to. I'm sure you have some sort of hypothesis that you'd like to test. Hey, so now I am going to simply just go here and I'm going to click start and allow visual mode. And you can see here that it's beginning to run the test. And I can speed this up just by dragging this bar here, and you'll see it'll go through really, really fast. Okay, and boom, we're done. So we see that the ending balance was $1,291, and you can see the history of each trade here, as well as your journal. So there you have it, right? That's pretty cool. You can also come back here, and you can look at the backtest report, essentially, of how it actually performed. You can see, the profit factor. You can see, the win-loss percentage. You can see the drawdown, all of that. You can also see a graph of how it actually looked. And again, if you see at the end, you see that kind of like a sharp down curve like this. That's because at the end of the testing period, it actually closed all open trades. That's why you see it like that, right? And then also you can come in, you can see the optimization results, which I'm going to explain how we optimize in just a second. Okay, so that's how you do a normal back test.